Boy Dom, I'm back, and in today's video I'm going to share with you when is the best time to trade Forex. Regardless of your trading style, strategy, or model, I will show you or point to specific times and days in the market where you can expect and anticipate an injection of volatility in the marketplace. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So before we jump into our technical analysis, first thing you want to do is plan accordingly. Before you even go and think about, doing your analysis and trying to, come up with a trade idea, you want to plan accordingly. And you do that simply by looking for specific days and times where there's going to be a big news event, whether it's medium impact or high impact. And you want to look for that, and you want to frame your trade ideas around those particular times. Now, in Forex, news can be released either, during London or even through New York. Okay, depending on where you are in the world, you would just have to adjust based off of what time zone you are in. But let's go into it and look. This is July 16th, right? And so we're going to go back through time from last week, and we're going to look specifically around that time, because what you want to do, regardless of the currency pair that you trade, you want to find your currency pair and find what news is being released. And here I'm going to look, because I trade dollar pairs, I'm concerned with the US dollar and my foreign currencies, which is the euro, because I trade euro USD, and I also trade pound dollar. So I'm looking for any medium to high impact news for the British pound as well. And so what I can see here is that we have all week, and so we're just picking this particular day in time. So we're looking at Thursday, July 15th and Friday, July 16th. Let's just call it July 16th, right? And I can see that we have these little red folders, okay? And then we have those orange folders. Just go to forexfactory.com. This is where most people go and this is suffice enough, but Forex Factory is more than enough for you to just get an idea of the high impact news. And really what I'm doing is I'm just looking for like I said, the day, Friday, July 16th, and the times that news is going to be released. I'm not a fundamental trader necessarily, and I don't necessarily make a trade decision based off of news. What I try to do is, when I do my technical analysis, I look for it to be in an alignment when a particular news event is going to happen, and that is all in time and price theory, which we can dive a lot more in detail with in later videos. But for this sake, I just want to show you exactly how you can go through your charts and see this for yourself. And so here we're looking at USD. We have core retail sales news, and we have retail sales. So it's a red folder, so we can expect some volatility, and it's not all the time. Every news event is different. So a lot of times the news may not even, do anything for that matter, right? Or the volatility may come in the session prior to, right? Because right here, I'm looking at 7:30 a.m., which is New York time, right? Or which is, it's after the London Open, we should say. So I'm looking at this time as, okay, we can expect, or I can anticipate the move to potentially happen during the New York session, right? And I've said this many times before, there's a difference between anticipation and expectation, right? I have little to no expectations when day trading, and I have nothing but anticipation. So I just look to anticipate moves happening. I don't expect moves happening, and I think that's what trips a lot of traders up, especially novice traders who don't have much experience in the markets. Is they expect moves to happen, and you have to check the ego at the door, because the markets don't give a damn about what we expect. The only thing that you can do is anticipate things. So without further ado, let's get into the charts, right? So we were looking at Friday the 16th, okay? Let me go ahead and throw some lipstick on the charts. All right, and so some of you may or may not know, I like to trade the high or the low of the day during London sessions. That is my particular model, and I typically look for a ICT Judah swing to happen outside of the Asian range. But not to dive into my model necessarily, I look at the Asian range to almost like a setting of the stage for me when I come to the charts, okay? And we know that in trading, I'm looking at that London open between 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., the London open kill zone, and then I'm looking later in the day, the next session will be the New York open kill zone for between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. Okay, so I'm typically trying to frame trades around these time frames. If I don't catch a favorable entry during the London open kill zone, then I am going to go and revert to the New York open kill zone and try to find a trade between these hours. Okay, and now, if you want to be a session trader, you can be a session trader. You can really just zone in on a London open between that 2 a.m. to that 5 a.m. time, or you can be a New York trader and just focus in on New York time zones, or you could even trade the Asian range. I have friends who actually trade the Asian range and they're really profitable. So it's just not my cup of tea, just because there's not a lot of volatility typically during the Asian range or the Asian time zone. But and in the description below, I'm going to break down exactly each session, so you can take a look at that, get a read on that, and take some notes on each session. But in this case, we have London open, right? For me, I'm looking for the high or the low of the day. In this instance, there was actually two trade ideas that happened during London. London was extremely volatile on this day. Okay, now if we go back to the news, right, on Friday, we saw that we had USD news for around 7:30. So this volatility came, honestly, and this is a Friday, and Fridays are, I want to say, very eerie sometimes. Like moves like this happen where you can get tripped up if you're not experienced with the markets. But you could have definitely played both sides of this, because it went price open, went below the Asian low. You could have caught that Asian low and took price higher. Granted, knowing that I was expecting a strong US dollar, and with the news event coming up, and we called this out on the live stream last week. You can go back to last Friday's on July 16th. You can go back to that live stream, refer to that, and hear in real time us calling this trade out and me calling this trade out. But I was anticipating the high of the day, this to be the high of the day, although it made that low and it came back up. And this explosive move to the upside, I anticipated that this would be this high of the day would hold. And as you can see, as price started to break down, you get a OTE pattern, right? You get an ICT OTE pattern. So price retraces to the 62 level right at opening price. And even on the live session, I explained that if price did not go above opening price and did not close above opening price, we will see price to continue to drop. And this was all in anticipation right around the time that we got that news release, the core retail sales right around 7:30 a.m. Okay, we had this come around right at 7:30. We also had consumer sentiment report that was released right at 9 o'clock as well. And if you just go to those times, right? So at 7:30, this was when the news was released. This all happened during London, pre-New York, right? This whole down move here, right? You caught that, and as you can see, like at this point, right around 7 o'clock when the New York open kill zone like started, I was anticipating a move up, a retracement up, right? Which we got that right around noon. So you got this huge strong move up, and you got this strong, like, so now what's happening is, as this move is happening, people who were, thinking that we were going to continue to go long, they're getting excited. They're getting into the market, and they're on the wrong side, because if you do your proper top-down analysis and you do your correlation analysis properly, then you will know that because we have a strong US dollar, because euro pound on this day as well was relatively strong, we can anticipate a weaker British pound. And so we caught that 62 retracement right during that news. Now the news happened at 7:30, but because I'm not looking to buy into it, I don't see this as an opportunity to buy, because I am a smart money trader, right? And I'm not looking to get in at this point, especially because I've already done my analysis from London, and I'm already expecting this high of the day to hold. I know that this move is really just a move to a retracement move, okay? And so we get in right around that time, right around the New York open kill zone, and the hours are between 7 and 11. And like I said, I'm not necessarily trading news. I'm using news as a framework to really just give me that extra confluence around my idea, okay? And so here today, we had a situation that is Monday. Typically is not a good trade day for me, but on the live session again today, we called this out. I saw that price drop low, right, and getting making a low form during London, and on today, I don't think we necessarily had a news day today, but let's go to the 19th. Okay, so we had pound news around 5 a.m. Okay, so we had pound news at 5 a.m. and that was during London, right? So you got this strong move below, right? 5 a.m. we get that retracement, creates this fair value gap in this order block here, and I was looking for price now during the New York open. During the New York open, I'm expecting price to come back up and retrace up. So this was a late New York pullback, but it happened. And so as you can see, you can find these retracement moves during New York the best. I want to say that if you're looking for a continuation of what's happening during London, New York is going to either one or two things typically happens in New York, either a continuation or a complete reversal. And so in my next videos, I'm going to break down each session, and I'll explain to you the characteristics of the London session and the New York session. I'll even do a video on the Asian range as well, so that way you can understand. But understand that in the end, the best time to trade is based off of your lifestyle as an individual, right? And depending on where you are in the world. For me, I'm in America and I am on Central American time. So for me, New York is probably the most optimal time for me to trade. But because of my model and my strategy, because I like to catch the high and low of the day, I do typically stay up during London. So I am up during London. But if I was just to, if I wasn't trying to capture that high and that low of the day, I would say New York is the best time for me based off of geography and things of that nature. So you need to factor that in. You need to factor in lifestyle. So there's really no direct, hey, this is the best time. What I will say, whatever time you are in, like whatever time zone you're in the world, you need to find which session correlates with what time zone you live in, right? And when, like, it's also like factoring in work and family and things of that nature. Factor those type of things in, and based off of that, you frame your trading model around that. Okay, you frame your trading model around your lifestyle, your time zone, but you know that the kill zones are for London is between 2 to 5 a.m. and then you have kind of like that London New York overlap, but then you have 7 a.m. to about 11 a.m. and then you want to also always frame everything, your technicals around news releases, press releases, and things of that nature. So in the next couple of videos, I'm gonna go into more detail of London session and New York session. So stay on the lookout for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully this answered a question that comes up a lot. When is the best time to trade? But as I said, the best time to trade is based off of your lifestyle, your time zone, and then finding the session that correlates with that, and also factoring in when they could or when you can anticipate an injection of volatility in the marketplace based off of news releases and things of that nature. So till next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it, all that jazz. I'll be with you guys on the next video.